Or whatever you want to do.
Seriously, why is McKay dressed for the prom?
Okay. I wanted to.
He wanted to.
Why McKay's outfit?
Because he looks so good. What about my outfit?
I want to wear your
That's more
outfit.
interesting.
Alright,
I want to do mine. I
We
want to
do
do
both. We
mine.
do both. We do both. A woman's outfit and a man's
Preference.
outfit.
No, what do you want to say?
Alright, let's do both.
We do both.
Yeah, we do both.
I'm very.
I feel like also people are more like.
So, for Nina, what is based on her outfit, and what do you think she's like?
Right. I guess the top is kind of very, it's definitely not conventional, so I would assume that you are of an art profession. Maybe someone who works in an art studio.
It's a pretty cool outfit.
No, you don't make any assumptions based on it.
Like about age, probably just like college student. Yeah.
I think she has a unique sense of fashion with the fur and the plaid. It's a unique combination because I don't really see it much. Probably like a little quirky.
I think she has a good sense of style. If I saw her on the street, I'd be like, yeah.
Wait.
I think if I saw her on the street, I'd be like, she has style. Maybe I should ask her how to dress.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Alright, what do you think of McKay and his outfit? Like, what would you generally think he's like?
Yeah, I think with McKay it's kind of like formal, but also it's like a specific type of formal. So maybe like an MC or a presenter, an anchor. That's the kind of vibe I get.
Okay, based on McKay's outfit, what would you make any assumptions about what he's
Trying
like?
way too hard.
Ooh.
Trying way too hard.
No, I mean like it's a nice suit, but like why are you wearing a suit in school?
She's probably a very busy person because of the suit. Like usually that means like he's off to like a lot of offices and stuff. Yeah.
He has like a good sense of style. I probably think he's like going to an interview or like at a desk job somewhere.
Would either of you assume anything about like what kind of person he is? Just like in general, based on what he wears?
Looks like a very sophisticated person.
Yeah, probably like classy. That's the best I can put it.
Very, very finesse.
Okay, so now that we've interviewed 3 strangers about what they think about Nina and McKay based on what they're wearing, we're gonna have them swap outfits, and then we're gonna ask 3 new strangers what they assume about Nina and McKay in their different clothing. Did you hear that?
Alright,
Oh god.
The reveal.
Yes. It's a twirl.
right here. If you just saw Nina on the street for the first time as just a random stranger, would you make any assumptions about her as a person?
Confident.
Confident?
Yeah. Happy going, like she loves.
Happy going? Yeah.
She wants to celebrate life.
Yeah.
She's in a rush to get somewhere important. She's smart.
On the street, like I wouldn't really pass any judgments. I don't like something important, maybe.
Based on McKay's outfit, would you make any assumptions about him? If he was just a random stranger on the streets and you saw him, would you make any assumptions about who he is as a person or anything about him?
Some late 90s. And his outfit like is a bear type of thing which gives you a feeling of bear. Like.
He's given up, maybe. Doesn't care about what other people think, but maybe he should.
I mean, like you're not trying too hard anymore. It looks like a reasonable outfit someone would wear.
There you go.
Wait, so
You saw this person on the street. What kind of person do you think he would be? Like his personality.
Teenager, like want to do something in life, want to prove something, looking for some opportunities that resembles to your goal. You're not very much clear about your goal.
Fashionista.
And you almost like Norway, when you could watch fashion shows.
The first thing that I thought of art student.
So if you saw him just walking down the street in this, what would you think? Would you think about him as a person?
I actually think it looks real good. Different, idiosyncratic, unusual, but it goes together, and I feel like he's pulling it off. You know what I mean? Like, you can question it. I would just think this person is very fashion forward.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you make any assumptions about his personality, or do you think it's?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, like what?
Stylish, aware of fashion, and cares about trends and appearance, and just, you know, the obvious stuff. Maybe European.
You saw this person on the street. What would you think about their personality based on their outfit?
Corporate, seems like corporate, but not the current corporate personality. She might be working in some corporate institute at the manager level, and like she is newly joined. She's new to the field. She doesn't have like much exposure to the field, but trying to make sense.
So if you saw her walking down the street, what would you think about her, or potentially her wearing like the other gender's clothes?
I think for pride, obviously something that you need
Right.
to do, right? So, I mean, immediately I would think that like she's probably just a woman, right? She's wearing diapers.
Good. Overall, like, positive impression. I would not be like, oh, that's not working. I would be like, yeah, okay. It's obviously a little more formal. The first outfit is the kind of thing that you could wear anywhere. It's kind of, I mean, it's a little bit weird and unusual, but it's also a little bit more casual. This feels more like, oh, I'm dressed up for an occasion.
Do you make any assumptions about her personality?
Again, I'm gonna say when you see someone dressed in a more unusual way, but also very intentional and thoughtful, you interpret that as being like, oh, this person is more confident than what I look like.
What do you think about her wearing an outfit that's more usually worn by someone of the male gender?
You know, I mean, that's part of what this outfit has in it. It's like these traditional masculine elements. Like, I wouldn't interpret that necessarily as being, oh, this person's expressing something necessarily about their gender, their sexual preference. I would be like, oh, it's just part of the overall mix of the signals that they're combining to create a look. So I wouldn't necessarily assume anything about that.
I've known you guys before this, so like I kind of noticed the differences when you guys are changing your outfits. Like Stin looks a lot more. She's standing up straight. She's looking at me like that. Like she's like way more confident. And now she looks, and you seem weirdly more relaxed. I feel like.
No, he
like
seems so
you're like
self-conscious.
diminutive. Really?
He's so self-conscious. More inward.
Yeah, yeah. And you're slouching. I think a lot more now that you have that on. I guess this is like empowering, right?
Yeah.
It's magical.
Yeah, I have to. I mean,
Woo! Alright, so if you saw Jack wearing this on the street, what would you think about him or his personality?
That he's going to a formal event of some sort. That he was a businessman. I don't know. That's what they're wearing.
They're pretty sharp, so I'm guessing like cares about their appearance, cares about having a good image. Maybe a little bit try hard. Just a little bit try hard.
Yes, there's a good sense of adequate, approachable.
about her personality based on what she is wearing.
It's like somebody who's trying hard to look like they're not trying hard with their clothes. Like, it's got like the hipster fucking like crop sweater with like the high-waisted pants. It's like I got this from a thrift store. Look at this well-coordinated outfit I got for like $10 kind of thing. I just think that like laid back, but also like cares a little bit about how they look. It's like I'm trying really hard to look like I don't care, but actually I care a lot.
It's very like fashionable, maybe that she's going to like I don't know, class. Not really. It doesn't really look like something you'd wear to like a job. Like it looks younger. So yeah, maybe I think she was like, yeah, like a student or something.
Chic, kind of quiet, reserved.
What did you guys feel when you were wearing the outfits?
When I was wearing this suit, I felt like really confident and like I was important, and that I was just like, my posture changed, like I stood straight up and I just felt really good about myself, and I thought that was interesting because I didn't know if I was going to feel uncomfortable or anything, but I actually felt like really strong.
As we're wearing the suits, most people would be like, all right, I think they're like trying too hard or something, and that's usually what they would say. But when the girls would wear the suits, they would be like, that's important, like that's like a good confidence thing, and they didn't really mention the try-harding aspect of it. Opposite for when the guys were wearing the girls' outfit, most people would say, oh, like that's just like a thing you would wear, like if you're just like, it's just like a comfortable thing when the guys were wearing it. But when the girls were wearing the like furry top outfit, they would usually say like, oh, it kind of looks like they're like trying to look like they're not trying. They thought we were rather trying too hard or trying to try too little when we're wearing like clothes that usually our own gender would wear.
Like, how did you guys feel when you were in the like female outfit?
Yeah, when we were in the female outfit, it was like didn't want to be in it anymore. It just felt uncomfortable most of the time.
Was there a way you guys found yourself like carrying yourselves, like when you were walking around? Like, did you feel like you had to like be super inward?
I don't know that I felt like that uncomfortable. The tops were a little like tight and weirdly like things I normally wouldn't wear, so that I guess was slightly uncomfortable. But like, I don't know that I found myself carrying myself strangely. Other than like I was much slouchier than I would, things like that.
But you were like complaining in this outfit, like you were feeling
I
don't want anyone to see me.
Yeah, I did not like wearing that outfit
Yeah.
at all. I did not feel comfortable wearing that outfit. I was like, let's get this done.
Did you guys feel like that in the suit?
No, I didn't want to take the suit off.
I liked the suit. Yeah, it was fun. I felt badass.
I thought what was also kind of interesting was that people felt uncomfortable. They were trying to find the right words to say when it was talking about the guys wearing the girls' clothes. And then
When we wore the other gender's clothes, people were like,
they
talked around.
Like questions being like, oh, like, well, like, why'd you say that? Things like that. Even though we weren't going to, but like, they definitely were like, they didn't say anything negative at all whenever we were in the opposite.
They were definitely like uncomfortable with the question.
Yeah.
When we were
When
like
we brought it to
switched.
gender.
Yeah.
I think that was more aimed at us in that than it was aimed at you guys in the suit.
Well, one of them was.
One of them was, but I felt like overall, like I felt more of a like
a woman
weird
with short
vibe.
hair and men's clothes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's like the honest of like what I actually think as opposed to like just like what you want
Yeah.
to say. Which is true. I think that's what most people would think. I think that was like the most important ones because like you saying what you actually think was like short hair, men's clothes, it's like different. Yeah.
All right.